It's like you want to deliver what people loved about the first, but you also want to surprise them with something new. Got to get that balance right.
My name's Detective Falk. We're assisting with the search.
5 women got lost out there. Only 4 came back.
My first question is, what goes through your mind when you have to do a sequel of something that was that successful as The Try, but now with the same main character, but in a different environment? As a director, how's your creative process to create a sequel from a great movie like the first?
Yeah, it's a great question because there's two things going on. One is, what do people love about the first film? I've got to make sure we give them that. You know, it's a crime story. Eric Bana's playing Aaron Falk. There's 2 crimes. It's set in an incredible location. But then what makes it different is what makes this different? Because otherwise you're just rinsing and repeating, you know. So this time, completely different location, the Australian bush in winter, wet, raining.
Yeah.
But also that ensemble of 5 women, Eric Bana and I, when we read the book, we were like, wow, we'd never read a story like this. You know, 5 women on a corporate retreat, lost in the bush. It's a survival story, I guess. So I think that's why it's an interesting question. It's like you want to deliver what people loved about the first, but you also want to surprise them with something new.
They followed a valley north,
It was the last place they saw Alice.
which means that she's now been on her own for more than 30 hours.
It's a bit remote for a corporate retreat, isn't it? But it's also convenient if you want to make someone disappear.
Also, what I love about it, it's the selection, the only women, and they have to survive and they have to deal with them. And there's something going on that's like the big elephant in the room.
Yes.
And the thing is, we know what happened, like towards the end of the movie. But I wonder, how was the filming location with your crew, like talking to them, like they have to go to training, because I think it's a very physical movie when you have to be an actor and perform walking and doing things that we do when we hike.
Yeah, it was the toughest film I've ever worked on. You know, taking that film crew and those actors into those remote locations, you know, that subtropical rainforest in the heart of winter. It was so tough. But that's part of the magic of cinema, I think, that you put actors in those situations. And, you know, that was tricky for them. There were leeches. It was raining the whole time. The mud was knee deep. I mean, it was tough. But I think you're halfway there if you can get into those real locations. So that was my invitation to the actors. I said, come on this adventure with us. It'll be tough, but it will work for you. And I think their performances come out of that visceral impact of being in those landscapes.
I like these movies that is a slow burn. And I think in the first hour, we have this slower burn that we getting into it. What's going on? We know the characters, we know why we're there, we know the one who smoked, we know the one who is Alice, there is the one who always arguing with, like, we get to know the characters. As a director, how's your vision to present me as an audience, each character, and then getting to know them, and then sympathize for one and hate one and choose my favorite?
Yeah.
It has to do a lot with script, but you as a director, how do you work with the script and play with the actors and everything around it?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think a slow burn structure is really powerful in that regard. And I think particularly in the cinema, so people who come to the movies, they want a big film. We shot this on big lenses with a massive orchestral score, and people have gone to the cinema, so they invest a little bit more time. You know, so as a director, you know that in the first 20, 30 minutes, you can actually take a little bit more time introducing the characters, getting to know them. Whereas, say, on TV, you know, people change the channel, you know, they start watching, and, you know, someone told me the Netflix algorithms, they can see, people leave after 7 minutes in. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, terrible for the structure you and I like, because it then pays off. If you've met all the characters and got to know them and fallen in love with them or understood the complexity of them, you are more invested. So I love that. And I love the dynamic shape of a film. I don't like films to feel like they just plateau. I like to feel them building and the tension rising and, you know, the action becoming more dynamic and the films getting more impactful the further you get into them. So yeah, so you know, you're the first interview I've done where people have talked about, where someone's talked about that slow burn. But I love that. A lot of my films are characterized by that. The Dry, everyone said, oh, The Dry, it's too slow at the beginning. And the film's my most successful film.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we don't do enough justice to how intelligent audiences are. You know, that audiences are happy to kind of take a little bit of time to get to know the characters.
Also, really quick, I love the gray atmosphere with the cinematography, and something that really stuck in me that I still feeling in my stomach is the music, that background sound, that I think is also a character because it's kind of this voicing off. They was telling that something's gonna happen. And really quick, please, just why the selection of this particular sound?
Yeah, look, I love music and sound in film. Peter Rayburn, he's a great composer. He'd done The Dry with me as well. Orchestral music. We recorded it in London at Abbey Road, where the Beatles had recorded their album. So I had to pinch myself. I couldn't believe it. But it's also the sound design. It's the recording of that bush. It's the bird life, the water, so you feel like you're there. And cinemas have such great sound systems now. And so I've always focused on that. And I work with a great sound designer. He won an Academy Award for the film Hacksaw Ridge. He's one of Australia's best sound designers. So, yeah, no, an amazing sound design.
Whatever they're all telling you happened out there, Alice was a part of it. We all were.
She's in danger out there.
Tell me what is going on. Why is this so different?
Because I know what it's like out there. I know what happens when things turn bad.
Alice was up to something.
You there?
Who are you talking to? There's someone there.
You remember Kovac?
Serial killer?
All of his murders were in this region.
Your mind starts to play tricks on you out there.
Just tell them